you take ownership of what you want out of life. So we thought one of the sessions should definitely be on how to set goals, long-term and short-term goals, and how to attain those goals. So it's not just a question of, wanting a piece of paper at the end of 4 years, which shows that you have a degree. Your goal setting has to be a little more concrete than that. And I think, as I said, one early session which I had during a break, that bridge course that we had, that it helps to put down what your goals are into a concrete form. And then it'll be wonderful if you can put down a roadmap on how to achieve these goals. So just to help you out with those twin things on how to set your goals and how to attain those goals, that we have arranged a session. So when we discussed it with our director, Annie ma'am, she took a personal interest in what we are calling the Student Empowerment Series. And she's the one who reached out into her network and arranged a resource person of the day for us. So let me now just introduce the resource person before I, hand the floor over to her. So our resource person today is Deepa Gangadharan. She is a happiness coach. So that's, I think, a very interesting title that is there, as a happiness coach and a seasoned HR and L&D professional with strong operational background. Prior to taking up her coaching journey in October, Deepa was the director of HR and operations with Able Solutions. And prior to this, she had worked with Infosys, Cognizant, Altisource, and UST Global. She comes with an overall 19 years of experience in the BPO, KPO, and IT services industry, with deep operational knowledge and broad strategic insight in building and scaling processes and teams and relationships. She has been instrumental in assisting many of her clients in finding genuine happiness by connecting with themselves. A strategist with diverse exposure in coaching, mentoring, human resources, learning and development, training, delivery. There's a lot of big terms over here. Experiential learning, operations, compliance, and process management. She is an advocate of change and diversity. She believes that simplification of process and belief in people as essential organizational behavior. So Deepa is an eternal learner and believes that life offers many learnings and various experiences we go through. And that, I think, is a very crucial, what shall I say, mode that we all have. Lifelong, we should be ready to learn. And so today is a part of that learning process. So with a warm welcome to all of you, and especially to our guest speaker of the day, may I hand over the floor to Deepa Gangadharan. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anita ma'am. It's a great pleasure to be around great folks here. And special thanks to Dr. Annie, who has given me an opportunity to share my experience today with all of you. So very good morning to everyone here. And I would like to have this as an interactive session as much as possible. So if whatever is convenient to you, whether you want to speak to me or you want to put up your views in the chat, it would be great, because as it is, because of the COVID situation, personal, in-person interaction is very less. So with this online series, we should be blessed to have, an opportunity that we can still connect with, people. But if there is a, interaction and an engagement, that would be all the more great. So all of you with me on that? Purni ma'am, how would I know if there's any chats that is coming in? I'm not able to see that in my screen.
Which one, ma'am? Which one you cannot see?
If there's any chat that is coming up from the students, how would I see that?
Ma'am, the show conversation is the second one, show conversation.
Okay.
Can you see the conversation now?
No, I'm not able to see that. Would you help me with that, please?
The students are saying yes, ma'am.
I'm with chat and channel meetings is only available to team members, is what I'm getting here.
Okay. Shall I unmute them, ma'am? Because they can mute the and they can chat. Shall I make them available?
Okay. Yeah, but as long as they are not interrupting in between, only when they are requested to speak or if they want to speak, they can unmute.
Okay. maybe towards the end of. Just tell me, ma'am.
Yeah. And Purni, could you put this in a slideshow mode, please?
Yes, ma'am. I'll do, ma'am. Is it okay, ma'am?
Not yet.
Not yet. I have.
Click on the slideshow, please, from the beginning. Can you see that on your extreme left-hand corner?
Yes, ma'am. I did. In my screen, its whole setting is coming.
Yeah, goal setting is coming, but the slideshow view is not coming. Click on that from the beginning, please. There on the top. Yes, click on that, please.
Yes, ma'am. Can you see the next slide? What is the goal?
No, Purni, I'm not able to see that.
You cannot see the second slide. What is the goal?
For me, right now, the thing is only on the.
It's just that Purni, the slideshow has not started. We can see the slides, but it is lying on that small screen. I mean,
Yes.
usually when you say start, that setup slideshow, maybe you can start from there. Click on that setup slideshow. Yeah, maybe that.
From 1 to 27.
Yeah. Will it? Okay, I think it's still in the same mode. It's probably.
Actually, I did, ma'am.
Are you seeing it like a slideshow, Purni?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The first slide. Then there is a second one. What is the goal?
Okay. All right. So maybe it's, I don't know what the students are. If they can also see it as a slideshow, then it should be okay.
You can see the.
Anita, ma'am, are you able to see it as a slideshow?
I am seeing it as not as a slideshow. Maybe we can ask students how they are seeing it.
One of you, could you respond, please?
Ma'am, 1 minute. Gladys sir is doing.
Sure.
Okay. Students, kindly bear with the small inconvenience. We will start very soon. Okay. So while this is happening, I want, one or two of you to at least, come up and, probably speak up and say, how was your experience in the first SEM been? Your transition from school to college, what was your personal experience? If you could just share that. One of you, I would like one person to be a volunteer. Anyone? Am I audible, guys?
Ma'am, 1 minute, please.
Sure.
Goal setting இருக்கா?
Goal setting PPT இருக்கு சார் ஒன்னு. Last PPT ல. what படிக்கிறவங்க.
அதான். கீழ்.
Hello.
Right. Check பண்ணு.
Can you see the full screen PPT, ma'am? No, is it okay? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now it's
Yes, Purni. Yes, we are.
Okay.
We are on. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Purni, I'll give you the cues when you have to move to the next slide. Okay. So right now, just wait for my instructions, please.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you. So, hi students. Good morning. How are you all doing? Purni, you would have to mute yourself, please.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes,
Ma'am,
Purni.
actually, ma'am asked me to mute all the students. So
Okay.
I'll do the unmute. 1 minute.
Sure. And Purni, I am not able to see the chat, so I'll have to make use of the students talking to me back because I'm not able to see the chat.
Now the students can unmute themselves.
Okay. So, students, because of the inconvenience where I'm not able to see the chat screen, we have enabled the, unmute button for you. Request everyone to please be responsible in how you use it. Only when you are needed to speak, please unmute and speak, and also one at a time, please. Otherwise, we will not have a fruitful session. Okay? Okay, guys, I need some reaction, some response. Otherwise, it'll be like I'm talking to myself. One of you volunteer and please speak for everyone, if that is okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, so here we are, and you all are in a great position, in a great college, and you have chosen up a great course where Purni, you'll have to mute yourself. Yes, thank you so much. So, students, it is my honor to be talking to you because I get to learn from all of you here as well. As Dr. Anita mentioned, I'm an eternal learner and I seek for learning opportunities from everywhere. So you guys are in a phase where you are like a cocoon right now, ready to flap your wings and fly away like a butterfly in the next coming 4 years. So this is a very very interesting phase of your life where as a cocoon, you know what a cocoon does, right? A cocoon is in a stage where it is taking up all the strength, gathering up all the nutrients and everything, and getting itself ready for its next stage, which is a butterfly. I'm sure all of you would have learned about the pupa, cocoon, and the butterfly stages, right? Back in school?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a phase of your life where you are in a position to absorb. You're like a sponge. You need to absorb as much as possible and see how best you can, mold yourself. So with that, you're in the first year right now, and it's a crucial year for you in terms of how you're going to shape up the next 4 years of your life. And whether you like it or not, whether it was your decision or not, you're right now here in the phase of choosing engineering as your core subject, and that is how your life and your future is going to look like. So I want you to embrace and accept the fact that engineering it is, and then I'm going to give it my fullest. So with that, I would like to talk about, goal setting. So goal setting, as we all know, is a very, very crucial, aspect of everybody's life and at all stages of life. So while you were in college, while you were in school, doing your, 10th board exams or 12th board exams, did you guys, plan how you studied and how you, kept your how you planned your the way you're going to take up your portions and everything? Did anyone do that, or was it just cramming before the exams?
A bit of both, ma'am.
Both, ma'am.
That's an honest answer. Okay, so when you did, I'm sure, okay, there are certain exams where you had prepared well and you went with full confidence, right? How was your feeling when you went for an exam, when you had just crammed it up and you just did the last minute studying and just managed to finish all the syllabus and everything? How did you feel when you went for the exam?
Trust God and don't think too much.
Stressed?
Yes, ma'am, a bit.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It was kind of stress.
Okay. And how was the feeling when you went prepared, when it was all planned and when you were very thorough or confident about your subject and your portions?
Ma'am, it didn't bother that much because we were confident about what we are going to write in the paper and what questions will come. We were quite aware of that.
Exactly. So that is something that I really want you to keep in mind, because the confidence that it gives you when you're prepared to the lack of confidence it gives you when you're not prepared is a huge catalyst for anything. So even when you're going for a match, not just your exams, be it a cricket match or a football match or whatever it is, when you have practiced, the confidence and the exuberance that you bring up on that day is unmatched to anything. But when you're not prepared and you're not sure of how things are going to be, then it affects the whole thing, and it'll bother you even after you finish that. So similar to that, goal setting is something that is very, very crucial when we do that, because it's about our life we're talking about, and it is about how well prepared we are to take on the challenges that life throws us, right? So if you look at the definition of Purni ma'am, could you go to the next slide? Yeah. So what is a goal? Can anyone tell me, according to you, what is a goal? What do you think is a goal according to you? When you say goal, what comes to your mind first? Anyone? I'm sorry.
Ma'am, and when we think of a goal, it's something that keeps us on our track. It keeps us focused towards our objective.
Okay. Any other definition or any other thoughts coming up?
Ma'am, goal is something.
Something.
One at a time, please.
Ma'am, goal is something which you want to achieve, ma'am.
Okay. Right. So if you look at the meaning of what a goal is, the object of a person's ambition or effort, or in other words, an aim or a desired result that we want to achieve in our life, right? So it's about what we want to do. Say, we all have dreams, right? When we were kids, we all had dreams. I'm sure everyone, you would have thought of, I want to grow up to become a pilot. I want to grow up to be a doctor, or I want to grow up to become, an entrepreneur or a famous business person, or even a film star, anything. So those are your dreams. Okay. So Purni ma'am, next slide, please. So your goals, is like a roadmap. Like, if you all have traveled, it's like a roadmap that is taking you to a destination. So in the words of Les Brown, your goals are the roadmaps that guide you and show you what is possible for your life. So unless you don't have a goal, you would never know whether you will be able to achieve it or not. So whether if you don't have a destination in mind, then you will never even take the first step and go towards that. Okay. So that is, that essentially is what a goal is. Okay, so okay, fine. You do have a goal and everything, but if you don't know how to go about achieving that goal, then again, that is again not possible. Similarly, like you know that you need to go. You want to start a journey from Kashmir, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, but if you don't know the route to go there, then you will never be able to go to the destination that you desire. So similar to that, a goal setting and everything, when you do a goal, when you think of a goal, you really need to think of everything of that sort. So, okay, Purnima, to the next slide, please. So first and foremost, to achieve or to even be something, we need to know ourselves first, right? What we are, what are our likes, what is it that we want to do in our life, what is it that we want to achieve, what is it that everybody would want me to be known as. So what is it that you want? So if you know yourself, and then you can own the world and then go out there and achieve whatever it is. So it's very important that you know yourself first. So, as Anita ma'am mentioned to earlier, the psychometric test and everything, and the results that you're awaiting for, that is an indicative score of what you are, and knowing yourself. So I hope that experience was good when you went through that particular thing. So you wait for the results to come, and that will open up a lot of things that you might not have known about yourself. So I would urge all of you to understand, to take that particular results and everything, to really go and reflect on what you are and what you want to do, and that is going to help you in achieving whatever you want in your life. Okay, so as so it's very important that you can know yourself. Apart from this, there are a lot of these websites and everything where it'll also give you an indicative in terms of what you are and everything. Based on your likes and dislikes, it'll tell you what kind of a career or what kind of a person or what suits you better. So when you have time, you can probably look it up. It's called as findmywhy.com. So that is going to help you in terms of doing it. It need not be accurate, but it is going to be an indicator to what you want to do and everything. And again, you are in a phase where, as I told you earlier, you're a cocoon, you're absorbing a lot of things. Today you might feel that, okay, I'm going to do this, and tomorrow you might feel that, okay, I might do something. All that is fine, because all that is part of your growing up ages. So but what I want to do is never ever stop yourself from thinking, oh, it's not possible for me. Give it a try. If you want to, some people want to go for modeling while they're in college and everything. Give it a try. You can still see whether that you fit into that or not. Or somebody wants to get into being a writer or getting into literature and things like that. Go for your dreams. Go for whatever makes you feel, makes you happy. But try it out. And if it doesn't work out, great. But this is a stage when you understand who you are, what you are, and everything. Purnima, click on the next thing, please. So when when you know the why, okay, then the how and what becomes very, 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 very clear. So then it will give you a proper roadmap to what you want to do and to go to your destination. You are with me, right? You guys are getting what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it's important. So goals are like your destination, the place that you want to achieve, and the dreams and everything that is there, and that will come up to becoming your goal. And then once you know what your why is, then the how and the what becomes easy. So that is going to really really help you in terms of properly achieving, properly setting up the goals and going about achieving them. Right? Puni ma'am, next slide, please. Okay, can you tell me who are these people? Does anyone know?
Kalpana Chawla, Steve Jobs.
Okay. And the first person, maybe because it's a black and white photo and you don't know, it is Ford. Henry Ford, the person who is the owner of the Ford company.
Ma'am, the founder of Ford.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so what is it that you see in them? Does who are your role models in life?
Elon Musk.
Sorry?
Elon Musk, ma'am. Tesla owner.
Enormous.
Elon Musk. Tesla's
Elon
owner.
Musk. Okay, Elon Musk. Sorry, I couldn't hear. Your voice was not clear. Okay, so do you think whoever is there out there, who have achieved what they have achieved, it just happened, by chance, and then they did not think about it or anything? No, right?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So be it, my favorite, my person whom I really admire is, Sachin Tendulkar, and he is someone. Who embodies the uh, who embodies sheer dedication and passion and hard work all together, plus being a very humble human being. So when I look at him, when I read his biographies and everything, it gives me great motivation to see that, okay, let me also try and do something, if not what all he achieved, but at least 1% of that. So the one key thing that I see in Sachin's achievement all these years, and is that he was very dedicated and focused to what he wanted to do, and he kept one step at a time, and then slowly moved towards achieving that goal. And all of these things do not happen overnight. It was that dream, that fire within him, that actually made things as a reality for him. Be it the famous personality that you see on the screen right now, be it Ford, Kalpana Chawla, or Steve Jobs, they all had dreams, which they turned into reality. And all those do not happen overnight. So they had to be a proper, dedicated or a focused approach towards getting to what they are. So it is that desire to achieve. It is a desire to become someone in life and to go and do that whatever they want to achieve, right? So how many of you have here that kind of a dream, and you say, yes, I am going to achieve what I want to do in my life? Some of you are clear, some of you might not be clear, but you all have dreams, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, the next slide, please. Okay. So dreams, just being a dream, will not going to help you. So the minute you put the dreams, a timeline or a deadline towards achieving that particular dream, then it becomes a goal automatically. This is a line from Harsha Bogle. He says, the moment you put a deadline on your dream, it becomes a goal, right? So that's how when you go on to achieve something. So because, okay, I have a dream of becoming a pilot, and I just sit on it, okay, and then just keep dreaming about it, say daydreaming, or I think about it, or I envision myself to become a pilot, and flying a plane and everything. But if I don't say, okay, when I want to do it and how I will do it, it'll just remain a dream, right? It'll never become a reality. So your way of making your dream come true is by doing goal setting, is by ensuring that you put it on paper, you visualize it, and then you work towards it. Puni ma'am, the next slide, please. Okay. So what is goal setting? Now that you have understood, or have spoken to you about what is a goal, what do you understand from goal setting? Anybody have you come across this term of goal setting, or have you done that in your life?
Process of making a goal and planning it out.
Okay. Right, you're right. So planning is important. Any other things?
Ma'am, it
Sorry?
also depends. Ma'am, it also depends on the decisions that we make for our goal.
That's right. Request others to please mute. It is going to be disturbing for the rest of us, please. Thank you. Yes, so planning and going about the decisions on how to make it done, right? Yeah. So it's nothing but a simple act of setting the effective goals to ensure that your you achieve your success. You take it towards your success. So that is, setting of goals is actually very essential for your success. Purni ma'am, the next slide, please. So, in the words of Tony Robbins, setting goals is the first step in turning into the invisible to the visible. So, when we say, okay, I have a dream, as I mentioned, I have a dream of becoming a pilot, and then all of those things, it's all in our head, right? It's not there anywhere. So, but when you write it down, or when you share it with your friends, and when you say that, okay, I am going to be doing, a certain things, and this is how I'm going to achieve it, then that becomes the reality. That becomes visual to you, and the visualization is a very, very powerful tool that will take you places. So, turning the invisible to the visible is what goal setting is going to give you. Purni, the next slide, please. Okay, so I want to share a video here with all of you. This is called as, Carolee Tassacs. Purni, if you could just click on that link, please, it will take you to that YouTube video, please. Ma'am, maybe you could do a full screen of this and then, yeah. Students, please take a few while in looking at this video very clearly, and then we will talk about this. Ma'am, you could increase the volume to the fullest. Are you able to hear?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Purni ma'am, could you just pause that? There would be a setting in your system where you can put it across to. Purni ma'am, you could pause the video. I'll try and share it from my end. Let me just try that. Please pause that for a second, and then we can resume back from your system.
All you've always wanted. This is the answer. A special material, patented material. Back in 1938, the Indian Army named Gandhi.
Can you see my screen?
No, ma'am.
Are you able to see my screen now?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
No,
one
ma'am.
second.
Ma'am? Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Will the whole session be available for viewing later as well, ma'am?
That you would have to check with your management.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Kindly let me know if you're able to see my screen.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Not yet? Purni ma'am, are you able to see my screen?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Oh, it's saying it's
No, ma'am. Not
okay. Purni ma'am, I will stop sharing. You could please, share your screen back again, and I will take them through that. I'll do the voiceover instead of that particular thing. Yeah, click on that, please.
Can you see, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm able to see the PPT. You can click on the link, the YouTube link, please.
Okay, ma'am.
Not this, please. Go back to the previous slide. Purni ma'am, go back to the previous slide.
Is this ma'am?
No, ma'am. Purni ma'am, please go back to the slide of the YouTube link. Yes. And again, please go to the view slideshow. Yeah. Yeah, you could just click on that link. It will take you back to that YouTube link. Yes. And please put the full screen so I can take them through the video. Yeah. So, students, this man was a Hungarian, army officer. Please pause. Please pause, Oti ma'am. Yeah. So this person whom you are seeing is a Hungarian army officer, and his dream was to get an Olympic gold medal for his country through, sharpshooting, through the, shooting competition. And he was very passionate about it. He was a great soldier, and all his life he was preparing, for that. But one day, what happened during an army training? What happened was he had an accident and he lost his firing arm, as in the arm which he was comfortable with, the right arm, he lost it.
Goal of his life.
Austin, we're able to hear it.
He had
Ma'am,
chosen, he would have chosen to
ma'am,
either
please start from the
find
beginning. It would be good.
for the rest of his life, or he would have focused back on his dream with a small light of hope. After
Purni ma'am, you could start from the beginning. We're able to hear the volume. Right, students? We're able to hear, right?
him on his courage to come and
Yes, ma'am.
cheer for them, but Carolee answered
Purni ma'am,
that
can you
he's
please
not
start
there
from
to
the
cheer
beginning?
them.
Yes. So please take a listen, students. Please watch this carefully. Purnima, you can play it.
Back in 1938, the Syrian army named Carolee best shooter of his country. He won most of the major national and international championships. He seemed closest to winning the 1940 Tokyo Olympic Games gold medal, and that was his only dream. The focus of his life was to win the Olympic gold medal for his country, for which he had practiced for years. He wanted to make his hand the best shooting hand in the world. But all the dreams turned to dust one day. In 1938, in an army training camp, in an unfortunate accident, one hand grenade exploded in Kerali's right hand, his shooting hand. That grenade ended up not only his shooting hand, but his Olympic dream as well, the only goal of his life. He had two ways. He would have chosen to knee down to life and cry for the rest of his life, or he would have focused back on his dream with a small light of hope. After 1 year in 1939, Kerali went to a national shooting championship in his country. His colleagues were delighted to see him and complimented him on his courage to come up at the championship to cheer for them. But Kerali answered that he's not there to cheer them, but to compete them. He was there to compete them with his only hand. He had practiced for a complete 1 year with his left hand to become the best shooter again, and he won that championship. He focused on what he had, not on what he has lost. But he didn't stop there. His focus was to become the best shooting hand of the world and to win the Olympic gold medal. So he started training again with his only hand, and he concentrated his whole energy on 1940 Olympics. But 1940 Olympics got cancelled due to World War II. But he didn't lose hope, so he concentrated and trained again for 1944 Olympics. But unfortunately, they got cancelled too due to World War again. It was hard, very hard to see his Olympic dream fade away like a dust. But he kept practicing and prepared again for 1948 Olympics. He was 28 years of age in 1938, and in 1948 he was 38 years old. It was hard to compete with the new players with the new energies, but that didn't stop him. He went there. Best shooters from all over the world were competing with their best hand. He was the only one competing with his only hand, and the man with the only hand won. But he didn't stop there. In 1942 Olympics, he won the gold again and changed the history of Olympics. If you are determined, nothing can stop you to reach your goal.
I just rushing back in my car and it was raining out there. And I just realized
You can
how
go
much
back
I
to
love you. Stop
presentation,
this.
please.
That you too deserve a life like this.
Close the
Somebody,
YouTube channel.
and you are someone who shares an dream, which is to make this world a better place. Not to keep the speaker trace. That when I talk, I wasn't sure what the path to get into your in a dream.
Ma'am, you can close that YouTube channel. Yeah, and go back to the presentation, please. Okay, students, so how is the video? What emotions did it bring out in you? Anyone?
Ma'am, it was motivation.
Okay. Do you know anyone like that in your life? Not necessarily the one who's in the pistol, but someone who is always, who has a dream and is after that. Anybody in your life as your role model? Okay, so coming to the video, guys. So Caroli's life is something that we all can learn from, because his goal or his dream was to win an Olympic gold medal for his country, and he was a very good, sharpshooter, in his age, and he wanted to, go for the 1938 Olympics. And due to the training mishap, he was not able to do that, and he was left amputated. He was not able to do it physically. He was not able to do it. But did that stop him? It did not. He stopped looking at what he had lost and what he doesn't have, but he started looking at what he still has. With God's grace, he still had a left hand. He still had a hand through which he could actually use it, right? So he never blamed anything on the circumstances. But then life was not that easy for him. And even after he did compete with his left hand, when he was ready to go in for the Olympics, there were 2 Olympics that got cancelled because of the World War that happened back then. And he lost 10 years, and he was waiting all his life from the age of 28 to the age of 38, but still he did not give up. 10 years he still constantly practiced. He completely dedicated himself to go in for that for the goal, because he was hopeful that the next Olympics is going to come up. And as things turned out, he went on to compete in the 1948 Olympics, right? And then he won the gold medal, and he won 2 years consecutively, and both gold medals for his country. So did that come easy for him, guys? Was it that, okay, he just thought one fine day, he just got up and then he went about and he shot at the firing range, and then he got the award and he got the medal? No, but he put up his best. So what did he do? He did not blame on the circumstances. He kept on doing what is best that he could do, and try with whatever you have, whatever it is that you have. One of the important things that our younger generation nowadays do not have is gratitude for what they have in life, because we generally see that people, the kids especially, are complaining in terms of what they don't have in life. Oh, he has that, she has that, I don't have it. But they don't realize what it is that they already have. So, and there's so much to do with whatever you have. Could you please mute once for not speaking? Please mute yourself. Okay. All right, I'll continue. So the other thing that the one more key thing that I would tell you is that your body does what your mind believes. That if you truly believe that I can do something, and then you train your mind to think for it and visualize it and everything, and your body automatically responds to that. It reciprocates. It takes you to that particular journey. But if you sit and say I can't, and I just sit over there and saying that I can't, and then it never will. So the best thing and the only thing is to say that you need to train your mind, you need to believe in yourself, you need to go out there and give it your best. And then everything else is going to come up and then give you that support that you need. And never refuse to give up. I know, when you say never refuse to give up, I'm not saying that, being adamant and things like that, but then being determined. Being determined is one key thing that will take you from your dreams to actually making into a reality. And never ever say I can't. As I said, if you say you can't, yes, you will never be able to do it. You will never achieve what you want to do. But if you say I can, the power of saying I can to yourself is profound. It is immense, and you only will experience that when you keep doing it to yourself. Okay, so isn't this story inspiring, folks? Will you be able to take back something from this story into your lives and probably implement that? Okay, I am taking that as an yes. Are there no girls out there in your colleges? I'm not hearing any female voice. Come on, girls, speak up. No offense to the men who are speaking, but I'm just saying that there's no female who's speaking up. So it's your age. Please speak up. Okay, I'm hoping that you're going to talk in the next sessions, in the next coming, slides. Ma'am, to the next slide, please. Okay, so had Carolee been sitting in his comfort zone and then saying that, okay, fine, I've lost my arm, I can't do anything, so let's just sit over there and then do it. It's not going to happen, right? He wouldn't have made history in Olympics, and none of the other, famous personalities who have achieved something in life would have done something. So I want you to, actually come out of your comfort zone. We all have a comfort zone, and we sit there thinking because we don't want to experience the change or experience the difficulties. So life only begins when you come out of your comfort zones. Say, for example, you're sitting in a sofa and everything is fine. You have the remote in your hand and you're watching the TV and the things you're in your comfort zone, right? It's all fine. It's all great. But what in case you didn't have the remote in your hand and you had to go, get up from your place, walk up to the place where the remote is, and then get it and then come back and sit and watch. I'm just giving an example, okay? But if you just put the same analogy into everything else, unless you don't get up and do things and then come out of your comfort zone, you will never realize what you are capable of and what you can achieve and what is in store for you, right? So this is one of the things that we all need to tell ourselves, that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So Purnima, next slide, please. Okay, how many of you have traveled? How many of you have traveled and loved traveling, and what is that experience all about? I want the girls to speak up, please. One of the girls, please volunteer.
I've traveled, and it's all about meeting new people, experiencing new culture, and
Right.
and yeah, it is out of our comfort zone. We don't feel home there, but yes, I love travel.
Yeah, and when you meet new people and when you see new culture, what is it that what is the learning you get from that?
Sorry, ma'am.
What is the learning that you got when you meet new people and experience new culture?
Learning that
Yeah.
I'm an outspoken person. I can socialize very well. That's what I learned about myself.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so this is what happens. Okay, when you're sitting in a comfort zone, okay, you are confined to your own four walls that you have built around yourself. But if you push those walls aside, if you break those walls and go out and venture out and see what the world has got to offer, what the world has that you can learn from, it is truly magical. And why I use the word, why are you asked about the travel is because when you travel out, because your home is your comfort zone. Okay, I'm just giving you the analogy there. Your home is your comfort zone, and when you travel, it's the world out there, and it's a new experience that you get. So when you go to a new place, say for example, most of you are from South India, and the culture and the kind of things that we are used to, be it geographical or anything, it is different when you compare to North India, right? So, in somebody who's gone to North India and who has probably experienced snowfall or probably experienced the extreme cold that that is available, that is over there, you will know whether your body can take it. You will learn a lot of things about yourself, about your body, about the people out there, how they are surviving, the things that you have taken for granted, how it is so crucial for certain people to live their lives. All of that will be revealed to you, and that is a huge learning. And that learning can actually help you from, becoming or, turning yourself into something that you want to achieve, which you never thought you can do it. And the strength and the power that you get, by knowing yourself is immense in, taking you forward for that. You getting what I'm trying to say? Does that make sense to you guys? When you're sitting at home, it's a different feeling. Obviously, when you go out, it's a different feeling. And especially when you travel and meet people, experience new culture, experience a different, weather and climate and conditions and everything. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? All of you with me on this so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is this, okay? So some of you might be having passionate about, say engineering, and that's why you have taken it. But then there'll be someone of you who is, who loves to sing, who loves to dance, or who wants to get into, arts and theater, or who wants to do sports, but is somewhere holding back themselves, and oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? What will others think? What if I fail? And everything. So you just have to, go out there and experience it. So go out of your comfort zone and go and do it. Or it can be even simplest things. Like, you come to a new college. It's a new, new atmosphere. Teachers are new. The whole thing is new. The transition from, being in the school and the college to an engineering professional college is completely new, and you don't know. But don't let that stop yourself, but please go out, talk to your teachers, go and mingle with them. They are like a living talking experienced person out there who can give you so much of information, and can help you and support you in your journey of achieving your goal. So go out and talk to them. Make groups, peer groups amongst yourselves, study groups where you have people with the like-minded interest and everything, and then grow from there. Because when you share and when you do things, there is so much that you can learn from, and that is going to expand your horizon. That is going to expand your thinking and everything. Okay, so come out of your comfort zone and then go for it. So you might ask, what has it got to do with goal setting? It has got to do with goal setting is because once you know your why, once you know your passions, and once you know how to do it, these comfort zone and coming out of comfort zone is going to help you in doing the what and the how you can do it. That is going to help you out with. Purni ma'am, the next slide, please. Okay, so now that we spoke about this, and then we kind of told you as to what is the goal and what is goal setting. I want to share a few things about what the importance of goal setting is. One, as someone else told me earlier, it will give you the planning, and with the same thing, it will help you focus. And when you do a goal setting, and goal setting in a proper format and everything, it will help you measure your progress. It will let you know where you are from where you began to what you are doing right now, and how many more steps or how many more stages I need to go forward, right? And then I'm not sure. Most of the younger generation nowadays have this habit of procrastination. Procrastination is nothing but putting things off for a later date. Oh, okay, I will do it later. Not today, probably some other time. Yeah, I still have time. Okay, if I have to submit the project or something, okay, it's still end of April. I still have about a month's time. Okay, I'll do it, and then it just goes on. But then if you plan it and then do it, you will be able to submit the best project of your best project if you do it right away, and then you can be relaxed at the before the timeline, instead of just cramming and then running around and everything, and then to submit your project. And then it will also help you to avoid distraction, and it will motivate you. When I say motivate you, it will show you the progress. Okay, when you started off, okay, I did 10 pages of my project. Okay, I have another 20 more to go. Okay, and I have 10 more days to do, and I can do it. Great. Okay, then I do the next 5 days, I go ahead and do the next 10 pages. And that is, giving you the motivation to go ahead and complete it. And, plan it in such a way that it is systematic and you achieve the things. Okay. So far, so good. If you have any questions, you can stop me and ask me, not a problem. But if it's all fine, I'm going to go to the next slide. Okay. All right. So, as I told you earlier, I want to take this example of, a boat, a rowing boat or an engine boat or anything that you want to say. But in this case, I'm going to use the oars and the rudder. Do you know what a rudder is? Okay, so what you see here in the diagram, you can see the rudder. It is there. That is the one that is going to give you the direction towards your, journey. So when I say, when goal is a, journey, goals determine your direction, and the system determine your progress. So in that sense, your rudder is your system that is going to determine the direction in which you're going. Okay, so the progress in what you're doing. And so your goals are like the rudder on a small rowboat. Okay, and then that will give you the that will determine your progress. So when you're rowing, I don't know how many of you have probably gone to Ooty, Kodaikanal, and then got done a boating and stuff like that. And when you use a rowboat and go that do that thing, if you're just doing your rowing with only one hand, probably the right hand, where does the boat go? It will go towards the right side. Okay, and then if you're using only the left one, the boat will again come to the left side. But if you're doing with both hands, together, the rowing of the oars together, the boat takes you in the straight way. Okay, so what is happening is the rudder is actually determining the progress, whether you're going left, right, straight, backward, whatever. That is what is helping you do that. But if you just keep on meddling with the oars and not just doing it wholeheartedly, you just do it, it'll just go around in circles. And okay, it'll just be in circles, and you're not going anywhere. You're just there. You're just there. You're just sitting in the boat, holding the oars in the hand. You're just there, right? But visualize yourself that you're sitting in the boat with the oars, and then using both your arms to actually row it, and then taking it in the right direction. That is what is going to reach you to the shore. Otherwise, you're going to sit there in the water, and probably if the water is too muddy or whatever, you might sink. The boat might sink. If you know swimming, great, but otherwise you'll also sink with that. You getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, so here I want you to understand that your goals, that your oars are your propellers that is going to take you to the shore. Bodhi ma'am, next slide, just click on the thing. So you will never get anywhere just by holding the oar. You have to do the rowing, right? So the oars are your goal setting and the how and what of the things. Bodhi ma'am, the next slide, please. Okay, so when coming to the goal setting, there are certain things that you need to understand that in life, generally in life, there are things that is in your control and there are things that is not in your control. You all agree to that? The best example, the best example is Corona itself. Did we have control of that? Life happened, right? Corona happened and all of us got affected. The entire world got affected. Did the world have control on that?
No.
Yeah, but what is it that we can actually have control on? Now that the entire world has got affected with Corona, we just wanted to, we are all as humans, we are all a resilient force, and we all are resilient, in our approach and everything. What did we do? We chose the next thing that we could do, and here we are as an example of an online session right now because of the COVID restrictions and everything. But what we are doing? We're making the best use of the situation. So in your goal setting as well, or in your life generally, there are things that is going to come to you which is under your control and which is not in your control. So you should not break your head or let your let the things that is not there in your control bother you, but focus on the things that you have control on. What are the controlling things that you can do? Okay, say for example, this whole take your college for example. They did not have a control in terms of the lockdown, in terms of the other things, but they had control in terms of how best they can utilize this time and how best they can give to the students and everything. And so here I am with an online session and giving you inputs about how you can achieve your goals and how you can still go ahead and achieve your dreams. So that is in your control. And what is in your control? Your control is to ensure how much you can learn from all these sessions, how much you can take back from these sessions and implement that in your life so that you become a successful person. You go out there and achieve your dreams and your goals. So all your life, in every aspect of your life, always think of things that, any situation that comes to you, just think for a moment, what can I do about this? What am I learning from this? What can I do from this? And how can I do things which is within my control? So, for example, the traffic jams, that is not in your control. The wars that comes out in the world, that is not in your control. And the weather, the attacks, the political scenario, none of that is in your control. But what is in your control is that, how well you improve yourself. How can you, adjust to the given situation that you are having and then learn towards it. So all of these things is going to help you in determining and making a proper goal in your life. Okay? Any questions on this? Or any questions so far?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Pumi ma'am, you could go to the next slide, please. Okay, so how many of you have heard of SMART goals? The term of SMART goals, have you all come across it? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
May I know where you came across that term? Did you read it? Did someone tell you about it? Someone said
told
yes.
me about it. Someone told me about it.
Okay. All right. So you, for most of you, this term might be new. Okay. So SMART goals is something that has been there from a very long time, and it is a very key management tool that will help everybody to succeed in what they want to achieve. And there are a lot of other tools as well, but this is a very effective tool which is time and tested, and it is helpful to many of them. So I would want to enlighten you with this particular thing where you're making SMART goals. And then SMART means it is an acronym. It is specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. Okay, like how what we spoke about in the beginning, where Harsha Bogle's statement said, when you put a timeline to your goal, to your dream, it becomes a goal, right? So here's an opportunity for you to actually make your goals. So I mentioned to you, okay, you have a dream, okay, fine, you have a timeline, you have something to do, but how do you do it? What are the tools that will help me do it? So here it is. So as Anita ma'am said in the beginning, you have different types of goals. The main two things are your short-term goals and your long-term goals, right? Your long-term goal is to ensure that you clear out from your engineering and flying colors, right? But to do that, that's not going to happen overnight. You need to have small short-term goals, many short-term goals that will culminate to become the long-term goal. You getting it? If you have any questions, please ask me. I'll be more than happy to help you. But are you all there with me when I'm saying that your long-term goal is to ensure that you pass out from the engineering and then get a good career? But there are a lot of other small-term goals that you need to do in place. Do you all agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here it is. SMART, when you break it down, specific. So when I say specific, say for example, can any one of you tell me one short-term goal that you want to achieve? We'll just take an example and I'll help you understand this. Anyone, it's okay. You don't have to feel conscious about it. Just tell me about it.
Finishing an online course in 3 weeks.
Finishing an online course in 3 weeks. Okay. All right. So here's the question I want you to ask. Okay, finishing an online course in 3 weeks. So is your goal specific? Specific is in terms of what exactly you want to achieve. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. But when it will be specific when you actually say which online course you want to achieve in the next 3 weeks, or what online course?
It's an online course of data science.
Okay, so that is a clear line. Okay, so you're saying 3 weeks, so it is time bound. So yes, your T is covered. Okay, and then is it measurable?
It's a 16 hours course, so yes, it's measurable.
So is it spread across every day?
Yes.
Okay. So is it actionable? Is it something that you can attain?
Yes, ma'am. 21 days and 16 hours will be fine.
Okay.
That's how I plan.
Yeah. So you want to attend a data science online course and complete it in the next 3 weeks.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so this is a good example of a SMART goal where you are being specific in terms of what you want to, what is a goal that you have, and it is measurable because you can see the progress of when you started, how many hours you completed, and how many hours is left for you to complete, or the days that is there. Okay, and 3, it is actionable or it is attainable because you have set aside a time in your daily activity, and you have given you have dedicated this many hours for this particular thing, and it is realistic because it is again having all of these things like do you have the right tools for it, have you have the proper internet to attend this online course, have you do you have a proper system that will help you attain this particular thing. So yes, so if you have all of these things in place, you're realistic, you're the actualization of your goal is also able to be done, and then it is time bound because you have set aside a timeline of 3 weeks. So this is a very good example of a SMART goal. The others, did you get what I'm trying to say? So it had specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound activities, and that makes it a SMART goal, and that is going to help you achieve it in the real time. Okay, you're getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
The others, please, can you speak up? Who has not heard of this word of SMART goals and everything? I took up an example so that it is easy for you to relate to it. And if anybody has any questions, you can ask me. I can give you, more details into it. So SMART goals, when we say specific, the goal has to be clearly written with no ambiguity. Ambiguity is no confusion. Okay, and it needs to be clear in terms of what you want to achieve or accomplish at the end of certain things. So this 3 weeks course which she mentioned is a short-term goal which is going to help her in the future activities, right? So it is helping in that sense. So it is clear, a data science course, an online course. So that is specific, right? And measurable. How many, does your goal answer the questions of how many, or how much, and how often? When I say how, okay, how is she going to achieve that particular course? Online. So that is clear, right? And how much time does she have to spend? 21 hours, as she said. So that is clear, okay? And how often does she have to, spend to achieve this thing? Every day, a couple of hours is what is there. So it is measurable. It is taking that into accountability, right? The next thing is about the actionable or the achievable or the attainable aspect. So can you get the support needed to get that particular goal? Do you need anybody's help? Is there any resources that is needed? Okay, and then the next one is in terms of realistic or being relevant. How relevant is this for your career? How relevant is this for your long-term goal? How relevant is this? Is this adding value to it, or is it not adding value to it? So these are the questions that you need to ask when you're preparing or making this goal. Okay, and again, time bound. If without a timeline in place, a goal is never a goal. It can never be achieved because nothing is clear. It should have a clear start date and a completion date. Okay, everybody with me on this SMART aspect?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, we have about 319 of you here, and I'm hearing only one or two voices. I understand it is because of, probably not wanting to disrupt the session, but this is a very crucial thing, for you to actually write these effective goals and then work towards getting it done. So I want you to concentrate on this aspect because it is very crucial. Everybody with me on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So any questions, please ask me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out with this, because this is something that I want as a takeaway. I want you guys to do it, and there might be a possible activity based on this for you guys, which I'll be working with the Dr. Anita ma'am. But this is something that it's crucial. So your goals, when you're setting up your goals, has to be smart in a way that you are able to have a clear vision, a clarity in terms of what you want to do, how you want to do, and by when you want to do it. Okay, so it's very, very important in that sense. Ma'am, the next slide, please. Okay, so this is what I was talking to you about. An example of this is to improve my grade in English to from A to a B or a higher. I will complete all the grammar, punctuation, writing mechanics, and word usage modules in the writing center, scoring at least 92% on each within the next 4 months. Okay, so let's break it down. So is it specific? Yes, because he's very clear. The statement is very clear in terms of getting a grade of B or higher by 4 months. So the nature of this particular thing is, it's very, very specific. So now let's go to the measurable aspect. How is the progress, measured here? By checking the end result, which is 92% or above, okay, and the timeline in which it is completed. Again, it is measurable. It is you have a start and you have an end date, right? The next thing is in terms of the actionable item. So what is the student going to do for that? This is the or aspect where you're actually doing the rowing. What is it you are going to do? What is your action? So you're going to spend time in ensuring that you are completing all the modules for the grammar, punctuation, writing mechanics, or whatever that is there. So you are putting your action there so that you can achieve the goal, right? And then the realistic aspect is you might want to spend extra time in doing the activity, or if you're not able to understand something, you might go and ask your teachers or your peers or your parents, anybody to help you with that. So those are the relevant activities that also is going to be there. And of course, the timeline, you have a beginning and you have an end. And at the end of the 4 months, your score is going to give you whether you have achieved your goal or not. You getting what I'm trying to say? Any questions here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, no questions. Okay. So, Puri ma'am, the next one, please. Okay, so this is another example of how a goal is vague and what is going to make it better. So this is generally for I've just taken an example of sending out resumes. If you see the first example where it is vague, it is not clear. It only says I will send out resumes, but it doesn't say where, how, by when, nothing. But if you look at the better version of writing your goals would be, I will find 20 accounting firms in Tamil Nadu and send each company a resume and cover letter by December 15th. So the clarity in terms of this is there, because if you say, okay, I will do something, you will never do it. But if you tell yourself, okay, I will do it at so and so time, and for doing this, I'm going to be doing XYZ. Okay. Another example is I want to do well in my classes. Okay, everybody wants to do well in their classes, but what is it that you want to achieve? I want to achieve 98% in all my semesters. That is a better way of writing your goal when you're setting up your goal. Okay, and attainable. I want to get a good job after completing my masters, but that's not going to help you in anything. I want to get a job in the area of my interest within the 6 months of completing my masters. Okay, you getting the difference there? That I'm giving you realistic examples so that it will help you set up your own goals when you have to do it, when you're writing your own goals. And relevant. I want to improve my singing skills before appearing for my interview. Is that relevant for this particular goal? Definitely not. You can do your singing, you can improve your singing skills as a thing, that's a different story, but it is no way relevant to this particular activity. So for a job activity, you might think, I want to improve my English speaking skills before appearing for my interview. Is that relevant? Yes. Apart from you working on your course, you're also improving on your soft skills so that you are able to present yourself better in an interview. And again, timely, I will send out resumes. It does not have any start date. It does not have any end date. But if you look at the better version of it, I will research about the 20 accounting firms by the end of November. I will do an English speaking course to enhance myself by December 10th. And I will share my resume by December 15th. So there is a proper structure. There is a proper roadmap in terms of how this person is going to go ahead and achieve the goals. Right? Do you have any questions here?
No, ma'am.
This is how you would have to write your own goals in a better way. This is an example. So you need to keep these aspects in your mind when you're writing a goal, and that is going to help you in the long run. Purni ma'am, the next slide, please. Okay, so in the net, okay, you have a lot of ready-made, spreadsheets and worksheets and PDFs available, which you can download or you can take a printout and you can start using it if you don't want to do it yourself. So in this sample one, which I have picked up, it says, it has your name, of course, the name of it, and then your goal start date. Okay, you start as to when you want, you write as to when you want to do the goals, starting of the time. And then my goal is whatever it is, like how one of your student mentioned, I want to do a data science course, online course in the next 3 weeks. So you can write that over there. Okay. So the end of 3 weeks will come up over here in your date of completion. Then the steps to reaching your goal, the oars, the rowing aspect over here. What are the steps that you want to do? One, I'm going to first find out the course, enroll myself in the course, then set aside timeline for that, buy the things that is required for me to do the course, and so on and so forth. So you'll write those things. What are the steps? Okay, Dave, week 1, this is a thing. Week 2, this is a thing. Week 3, this is a thing. Okay. And then 2 things that will help me reach my goal. This is where you can put your resources. Like, for example, if you're not sure of which data science course that you need to take, you can consult with your professors or teachers or your friends or your parents in terms of, okay, what is it that you need to do? How do you go about it? The how aspect. The 2 things in terms of what is going to help you. Okay. And then the last segment is, I know I will have reached my goal because there would be something, some activity like completion certificate that you get at the end of the course, or the result that you get at the end of the course. That is going to give you a clear idea in terms of where you are at your goal, right? So this is a sample example, that this is a sample worksheet that is there that you can actually use. So feel free to go and search the net for any kind of things which you feel works best for you, right? But this is important. You need to ensure that you write it down in a clear format and put it up in a place where it is visible for you every day. If you have like a small board at your house, or a notice board or something, or put it up in your wall, and that is what is going to help you in terms of the progress that you're making, right? Any questions on this worksheet or any terms of how you can go about getting this kind of worksheets?
No, ma'am.
All right. Puni ma'am, next slide, please. Okay, here's my personal favorite. Okay, once I have done the goal setting, once I have done the, writing of that particular aspect, I also go ahead and do something called as a vision board. How many of you have heard of a vision board or use a vision board? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how did you go about doing that? What does your vision board have?
Pictures of things that I like to be in my life, or that I like.
Yeah, so tell me
And
one thing.
also about my goals.
Okay, so can you just give me one example of what picture and what is the goal that you put up in your vision board? Can you describe it to us, please?
I can tell you one thing. I mean, one of the pictures that was about socializing, and that's all. I'm
That is
I'm
about?
getting into a new college life, so I thought socializing is important because in career you have to make connections. So that was my one combination.
Socializing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you put up the image of socializing or a bunch of people and everything. So what is the action that you had to take for that?
Talk to people.
Okay. How did you go about doing that? Okay, talk to people is very vague again. So how did you do it? Like, how many people, whom did you approach? Did you, read up something as to how you can socialize better? What did you do? What is that? What is the rowing activity that you did?
I stopped avoiding people. I spoke to everyone.
I'm sorry?
I spoke to everyone normally. I stopped avoiding people, which I usually do.
Okay. All right. That's a good step. Thank you for sharing. So,
And another one was finishing a book.
Uh-huh.
1 month at least for a month. Sorry, one book per month. So yeah.
One book per month. Awesome. Awesome. So reading is a very good, activity, and everybody would really benefit from that. So yeah. So the others, I'm sure some of you must have done that. So this is one of the very, very strong tools of ensuring that you actually attain your goals. Okay, visualization, as I told you, gives you a very good focus in terms of this. So if you put up a small, it doesn't have to be very fancy or anything. It just can be just scraps of paper that you have put up over there, and you can see it. How many of you have watched? I'm sorry, this question is not right. I am sure all of you must have watched Surya Putru, right? Surya's movie.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
So if you see there is a scene where he has put up stickers and everything in his house, and that house is very small and dingy and everything, but he still had those images put up there. So every day when he wakes up, he sees those things and he sees his plan in terms of what he has to do. Okay, he has to go and meet the venture capitalist. He has to go and take care of certain things. So all of those things he has put up in his version of vision board, right? Do you recall that scene?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is another, that I feel is my personal favorite, where if you have something in your mind, and a vision board is really going to help you. Once you write down your worksheet in terms of the goals that you want to achieve, and then you have that vision board, and where you are putting those pictures and images and everything, it's going to give you a great visualization in terms of where you are right now to what you want to achieve, and you will really be motivated to go about doing that. So for those people who have not heard of vision board or who have not used vision board, there are, I urge you to go and look up in the net, in the YouTube. You have a lot of videos where it tells you how to, actually go about making your own vision board, and how to use it in that sense. So go ahead and explore in that aspect, and that is really going to help you in terms of doing it, because visualization is a very, very powerful thing. All with me here so far? So the tools for you to do attaining your goals is, first, write it down in a very, very clear, specific, smart way, and then put up these vision boards and everything where you're able to see it on a daily basis, and then go for it and work towards it. Okay, can I move to the next slide if you don't have any questions? All right. Okay, so I'll move to the next slide then. Okay, so we spoke about what we can do, and what we can, how it can be done. But I want to touch upon another thing over here, is that there are certain things that will actually stop us from achieving our goals, right? How many of you have set out to do something and not actually done it? The best example is in New Year resolutions, right? Many of you would have had New Year resolutions, and then you say, oh, beginning of the year, I'm going to do this. And then probably by the end of 3 months or 6 months, it's all faded off. Why does it happen? That's because it's not clear. So the obstructions, or the things that will actually stop you from achieving your goals are these, okay? It's poorly defined goals. That's why I first spoke to you about the smart way of defining the goals and putting it there, because that will give you a very clear-cut idea, and then that will stop, that will not have, you will not have this kind of an obstruction when you do it that way. And then not knowing your weaknesses or your strengths for that matter. So something, okay, you need to work on something to ensure, as I mentioned to you, the earlier example where I am not good in English and I want to improve my English. But are you doing something about it? No. You need to start thinking about it. Okay? And then another thing is, okay, when you initially made it, you have done the goals and everything, you have written it down, all of that is fine. But then you don't stick with it completely. Whenever you feel that, okay, it's not working out, you revisit your goals. Say, for example, something did not work out for that particular thing. You change direction, but ensure that your destination is the same. There's a roadblock when you're going from your home to your college, but it will not stop you from going to the college, right? You will see from your house, okay, which is the other, which is the other way or the direction by which I can reach the college. So you will still do that. You will not stop and say, oh, and I go back home. So revisit your goals. If something is coming up as an obstruction, see how you can clear that and see how you can, change that. And physical obstacles, then lack of knowledge, then skills and ability. You feel that you don't have the skills and ability, but you can always develop it. Lack of motivation, and then psychological fears, the fear of failure, and also the fear of success. How many of you have heard of the fear of success? Anyone? Okay, no problem. So the fear of success is something that you succeed in something and then you don't know what next, how I will manage, how I will take care of things and everything. So that fear is actually stopping you from actually going ahead and putting your steps in place. Fear of failure, everybody knows, okay, what happened if I fail, and then that stops us from doing a lot of things. So I would urge all of you to not think of all of these negative things, and to clearly focus on your positives, to focus on your resources that you have, and go full throttle in terms of achieving your goal, whether it is short term or long term. It's completely okay. So if there's no questions, we can move to the next slide. No questions? No question. Okay. All right. Purnima, next slide, please. Okay, so as I told you, in terms of the obstacles and everything about the fear of failure and self doubt and all of those things, I want you to all eliminate that from your mind. So it is about this, okay? Whatever you think, as I told you before, if you say I can't, you will never be able to do it. But if you think that you can, there is immense magic in that. Okay, so your thoughts actually become the reality. That is the power of your thoughts. Whether you believe it or not, it is a proven thing that your thoughts actually turn to reality. I want to read this small line over here. It says, "The treasure house is within you. Look within." You have to connect with your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind has answers to all problems. Your subconscious mind builds your body and it heals you. What this essentially means is, for example, if you want to write a book or you want to, get a job in a company of your liking, or you want to prepare yourself for a public speech, you tell that to your subconscious mind. Tell that to your subconscious mind every day, and your subconscious mind will help you prepare for that. So every day you keep saying positive things to yourself. I can do it, and I know this is what I'm going to do. One day I'm going to, speak in a forum, in a TEDx forum, or one day I'm going to, become a great politician, and I'm going to change the world. Think about those things on a daily basis, and convey that idea to your subconscious mind, and that will happen accordingly. And all of these things have to be done in a positive space, in a happy space, because if you put negative, words in your head, it's not going to happen. It will always block you because you yourself are blocking it. So be in the positive frame of your mind where you're talking positive things, you're telling positive things to your mind, okay? And that is going to, come later in your life. It will attract it. So never use negative words, and believe in whatever you are doing. Believe in yourself. Self belief is the biggest belief anyone can carry, and that is going to give them the confidence and the power to achieve and go for whatever they want. So when you change your thoughts, you will change your destiny. You will change your future and your present for that matter. When you're changing your thoughts and you're in a positive manner, in a positive environment, you're very happy, you're content, you feel gratitude to whatever God has given you in your life. And then that metamorphosizes into all your actions, into all your activities, and that is going to give you results in a positive way. So you are like a captain of your own ship, okay? And if you don't give them the right orders and take it to the shore, then unfortunately the ship will wreck. But it is all in your hands. How you navigate your ship, how you as a captain motivate yourself or give positivity to yourself, and take you through that. Drive you towards the ship. All right. The next slide, please. So as I was telling you, if you work from a happy space, you will definitely get success. And when you get success, you will get, self-confidence. And it's a cycle. So self-confidence will give you happiness, the happiness will give you success, success will give you self-confidence. It's all gonna go in that sense. So it's a chain of action. So always be in that happy space of your mind, wherein you are always thinking, positive, and the true belief in yourself and your potential and your strength. The next slide, please. So with the tools that I have given you, I want you to go ahead and set that goal that you want to do, whether it is a short term or a long term. I would say small term goals, many small term goals will culminate to become the long term goal that you want to achieve. Okay, so go out there, set that goal, make the plan, get to work. Of course, if you don't work and the goal is just written over there in a piece of paper, it will just remain there. Unless you don't work it out, it is not going to happen. And then stick to it. When I say stick to it, don't start and then once after you've faced one or two obstacles and you say, oh, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. I don't think I have it in me. That's not the positive things that you need to talk to yourself, right? See if you are, the goal that you have set is not right. If you want to revisit it, if you want to change a few things here and there, go ahead and do it, but stick to it. And ultimately, you will reach the goal, and then obviously you will be happy. Your supporters, your loved ones, everybody is going to be happy, right? The next slide, please. So here's a few things that I want you guys to take away from this session is people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. As I told you before, when you have a roadmap, when you have a map in terms of leading you from where you have to start, which route you have to take, and how you have to go, and when the destination is right in front of you, you will reach your destination. But if you don't know, where you're going, and that is because you don't have a goal, you don't know where. It's like, okay, I'm just taking my bike out today. Let me see where it takes me. Wherever I feel like, let me go. That's not going to happen. That's not going to reach you anywhere. Maybe you will have fun, with the feeling of riding the bike and enjoying the whole experience of riding the bike. But it's not going to give you, or it's not going to give you the destination that you want to go for. So this is the thing. People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. It's a very crucial thing. As I told you, if you know your why, if you know your what, and if you know your how, you are going to achieve your goals and you will turn your dreams into reality. All with me on this? Do you all agree? Do you all agree with me on this? Do you feel that if you have a goal and if you have written it down and you know the paths towards it with a complete proper roadmap, you will be able to achieve your dreams and make it a reality?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Okay. So, Purvi ma'am, the next slide, please. Okay. Students, I want you to read this thoroughly and clearly because this is a thought that I want to leave you with and say that, okay, grow what matters, one step at a time, little by little, and your goals and your steps will add up. So that is goals, okay? That's goals for you, where you need to grow what matters, one step at a time, little by little, and your steps will eventually add up to becoming your reality. All right, that is all from me today. If you have any questions, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to, help you out with any kind of a questions. But I have an activity also for you. With the help of your teachers, it would be great for me to receive your, goals that you have made and you can send it to me. So here's what we will do. I want you to write one, long-term goal and two short-term goals that you see at this moment in the smart way and write it to me and send it to me to my email ID and I will be sharing that with Dr. Purni or Dr. Anita ma'am and you can share your a collated version of your two short-term goals and one long-term goals. I want to see whether you are able to understand and take away from this session and able to write a specific goal in your life. So if there's anything that I can help you out with, in terms of connecting that and sending it back to you, I'll be more than happy to do it. So this is an activity that I would want all of you to do it. All with me here? Yes, ma'am. Anita ma'am, is this doable?
I think so. I think we can go ahead and do that. I mean,
all right. All right. So
that can, we can do that.
Ma'am, your voice was breaking. Could you please repeat?
All those who are interested can do that, and then I think that will definitely help them to get more clarity.
Okay, sure. So that brings my, the end towards of my session. That is all I had planned for you. I hope you, got some inputs that's going to help you, and that is going to help you inculcate in your life to see what it is, because this, as I told you, is your beautiful time. And I'm so glad that your college is actually helping you out in this journey of yours by having all these sessions, because back in my days we never had anything. We all had to learn everything from our own experience. We used to fall, get up, learn, ride cycle, whatever. It is all used to things. So you're in a situation where you have everything great, which is going to help you blossom into a beautiful butterfly. So take everything that your college is offering you, they inculcate all of these things, and it is going to help you a long way. So thank you so much, students. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Deepa ma'am.
Thank you, Purni. Thank you so much for your help. Sorry about the few things that happened.
Just a minute, ma'am. We will have a vote of thanks session, and after that we will wind up.
Sure.
Myself, I'm Bindu, head of the department, ma'am. It was nice hearing from you. It gives me great pleasure to propose the vote of thanks for today's program. I thank our management for having supported us always in organizing such useful sessions for the student community. My sincere thanks to our speaker of the day, Ms. Deepa Gangadharan, for accepting our invitation and addressing our first year students on the topic goal setting and attainment. I'm grateful to the Principal, Dr. Devasundari, and Dean Student Affairs, Dr. Anita ma'am, for their constant encouragement. I thank all the HODs, teaching and non-teaching staff for their support. My thanks to Dr. Purni for her support in arranging this function online. Finally, I thank all my first year students for having attended the program today. Thank you, one and all.